it affects your hearing. And we all know I'm about half deaf. But I want to dispel the idea that it affects your vision, okay? For example, in talking to Steve here, I want to tell Steve how much you came down here, and I really do appreciate it. You do look a lot different than I thought.
Yeah, you see the cigar.
It's amazing what a pair of glasses will do for you. Remember what comes your way. And that life is a strange mixture of absolute joy and then sad, depressing experiences that you can hardly even talk about. And I would have to say that this experience of you all doing all of this for me is up at the top of the good times.
Of course.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate everybody who's come here. It's just very humbling and very meaningful, and it will always stay up there, top of the list. I have had an interesting experience in about the last 5 or 6 years. I started going with some consistency to the synagogue in Oklahoma City. I'm a member of the synagogue now over there. And so on one hand I have all the Christian faith, and on the other hand I sat there and listened in the synagogue to their thoughts and their ideas and their beliefs. And one of the ideas that has stuck with me, because I never heard it over here on the Christian side, is that when we're born, we all come into the world with a predetermined course of events that is a path that we should go down, we will go down, with the objective being the fulfillment of our soul. From the Christian world, and then in the Jewish world, you're not considered a person until you're born. So there's a different view on abortion between those two worlds. But at the point, whatever position is, at the point that the soul becomes a part of the body, the idea is that there's an objective out there in which the perfecting of your soul is the objective of your life. And so you come into this world with certain very positive capacities and then some negative, unfulfilled parts of your life. And in the Jewish world, part of the objective of your life is that from the moment you're born to the moment you die, it's obviously a road that's going to wind and turn and so forth. But by the time you get down here to the end of it, hopefully you have perfected whatever it was in you that needed to be perfected. Like, for example, when you think about your life, probably if we went around the circle here, we could all name something that we have struggled with. Like, sometimes it's fear, sometimes it's anger, sometimes it's anxiety. I mean, you just go down the list. In other words, it's a capacity that doesn't change real quickly. But as you go through the ups and the downs as much as the ups are part of reshaping that part of you that it seems to me, if I understand all this right, will go into eternity. And if you've done the path right, that part of you will have reached a fulfillment, and you will be a whole person. So, my kind of discovery is that it's possible to get in debates with people in which you succeed, and possible to make a decision that you thought was really the right way, turned out to be wrong. There's ups and downs. And in the midst of that, there are times that all of us here in this room have faced that were tragic and that were a profound loss. And a profound loss cannot be fulfilled quickly. And it changes us to some extent. But the challenge in the profound loss is the capacity to make us better than we were before. And that when it's all said and done, perhaps the most important achievement that any of us have is our character. It doesn't make a lot of difference whether we made $1 billion, owned a ton of land, climbed the highest mountain. It's what we are, what we become. And so the most valuable part of the journey, perhaps, is kindness, generosity, helping people, making the world a better place, being kind to each other, and sometimes overlooking flaws that we all have, and not carrying the load of resentment about those things, and going forward in a very, very positive way. When you reach the age of 80, you don't know whether you've got 1 more year, 5 more years, 10 more years, 10 more minutes. But you've got a pretty good sense that you're in the last turn on the racetrack. And it just seems to me in my 80 years, it has left me with the realization of how important it is to try to do things right and good and graciously. Far more than perhaps I would have thought when I was 25. And, you know, I have learned from each of you so much. We've all had very hard moments, and it's really been my opportunity to have shared with you some of those hard moments that together we carried, times that were seemingly just more than we could bear. But the point in that is that in doing so, that does something to our personhood, to our character. And that's perhaps the best, the most important thing we could have. I think the Indians used to say that anybody who's had 3 friends in their lifetime has lived well. And what they mean by that is the friend that stands with you when you're wrong, who continues with you when you've blown it, you know, and walks with you clear to the end. One of the opportunities that we had, that Marguerite and I had, I think most of you knew our friendship with the Derryberrys in Oklahoma City. He was the Attorney General of the state at one time, one of the major lawyers in the whole state. And Larry had a defect, I guess it was somewhat congenital, and we watched the life slowly slipping away from him. And I think we had come wasn't it at Thanksgiving? Yeah. We'd come up to Sioux Falls for Thanksgiving. And on the way back, his wife called us on the car phone. And she said, I've had to put Larry in the hospital. And it's not good. So we got up there and they decided we'll put a feeding tube in, and then they couldn't find his stomach. I mean, it had atrophied, I guess you'd say. So on Saturday morning, they came to the decision, if we take all the tubes and turn off the machines, Larry will be gone pretty quick. And so he sat there and said, what do you think, Larry? And he said, I'm ready. I'm ready. So I got up next to his head, to his ear. I took the book of prayer, book of common prayer, and began to read the final prayers, Psalms. And probably in less than 10 minutes, he was gone. And I thought, gee, I got to share the final moments of his life. And I consider that, I think, to be one of the highest honors that I ever had, that I was able to touch something in him that was eternal. And Larry went away very peacefully. And I guess I'm saying that to say that in my 80 years, I've learned to value those kind of experiences far more highly than I think I would have ever realized that previous to that time. Probably one of the primary things that I really value now is relationships. We're a family. We've got different branches, different little avenues, but we're all one family. And the relationships that we share are priceless, and perhaps they're the most valuable thing we have. And I think the value of it grows with you through the decades. And as the decades go by, you realize how important each one of you is, and how important what we have shared was, and how important we can do for each other in the future is. And I guess in 80 years, that's one of the most important lessons I've learned. But again, I do thank you for, gosh, what a day. What a day. Walk out on that porch looking at the river out there and that's an all-time memory. So thank you very much for being here, coming, for celebrating my birthday, and just appreciate that. Now, our director